Police in Las Vegas found themselves in the middle of a UFO mystery last month after
To us, big eyes. They have big eyes.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
And welcome to another episode of the Mythical Legends podcast. We have a great episode lined up. We have a very, very special co-host, and our normal co-host for Mythical Legends. So some great stuff lined up there. We then have an amazing guest in Ohio, so it should be very, very interesting. Listening to what they have experienced over there. But first, I'm gonna get our normal Mythical Legends co-host on, my partner in crime, who has done a lot and has put up with me for probably about 14 years now, approximately. So let's bring Jill Roberts on. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Daniel. Thank you for that very odd introduction. I have known you from the moment you were born, yes.
So we have two very we have a very special co-host, and we have a good guest today, don't we?
We do. Very exciting, yes. Looking forward to this.
Let's say a little bit about our co-host. He's been on the podcast before. Me and you have interviewed him, haven't we?
Well, we tried. I think he just led the whole show.
So this is I have him backstage and he's laughing right now. He's so this man here is part of my UK BRT team. I'm co-founder along with Chris Alsford. He is also owner of South Coast Ghosts and does a lot of paranormal investigating to do with ghosts and spirits. So you may know who I'm talking about, or you may not. But let's bring him on and have a bit of a laugh before we bring in our guest. Please welcome Mr. Darren Graham.
Good evening, guys. For the third time this evening, I believe. No, great to have me on the show. Thanks so much. And
very, very welcome, mate.
Great as always.
I like the bit where he did introduce you, Jill, and yeah, and then he says, like, let's have a laugh. We'll bring Gavin on.
I know. Yes. Yeah. I did notice that.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's getting to be a bit like my T-shirt says. Yeah, I do what I want, where I want, when I want. Yeah, and then it goes down. Give me 1 sec. I'll ask the wife.
So to everyone listening to the audio podcast, Darren has just showed us his T-shirt, and it is a very, very good T-shirt, Darren. Well done, you.
Yeah, she makes me wear it all the time, so I know where my position is.
She's quite right.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe we have an interesting guest tonight, though. So
we do. So this guest I met probably about a week ago, and he's very, very interesting, and I thought I would have you on, Darren, to kind of share the comedy with me and Joe. And yeah, so to all of our viewers out there, before I get into today's guest, I will mention that me and my team are looking for a name that it includes all cryptids, all paranormal. And both me and Darren said it on his show yesterday, but I will bring it on this show. Anyone has any suggestions that include something with the unexplained or worldwide something, that would be
Something that
amazing.
just really overshadows everything from
Yeah.
cryptids, paranormal, UFOs, unexplained phenomena, UAPs, anything. Because I mean, we've got a very diverse lot now, and we cover, I think, every corner of what I call paranormal. Paranormal to me is anything that's not normal, anything that can't be
Yeah.
rational and you can investigate. So we're looking for a name, Daniel, aren't we, that really covers that.
Yeah.
You know, worldwide
Something, yeah.
searchers or whatever.
Yeah, so anyone who has any ideas, please comment.
Put them in the comments,
or
please.
yeah,
Please,
amazing. And so let's get into today's podcast. This man is a Bigfoot researcher and has set up his own team with his wife, which is lovely to hear.
Brilliant.
So let's bring this guest on and let's find out about his interesting stories. So I proudly present Tim Gayheart. Hi Tim, how are you?
Hi everyone.
Hey.
How you doing today,
Good
Dan?
evening.
Yeah, yes.
Well,
I'm
it's good
very-
evening for us, not for you.
So Tim, how are you?
Well, I'm doing good right now. I'm a little bit under the weather for a couple weeks.
Oh,
You're all better now, though, Tim. Yeah, you're all better now.
Yeah. Had a bit of sinus problems there for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we've got something going around here, mate. I've had it, and thankfully over it. Glad to hear you're over it now as well, mate.
Thank you.
So Tim, could you tell us a little bit how you got interested into the cryptid world?
Well, I was young when there was a friend of mine at school brought in a book that had all kinds of like vampires, werewolves, Bigfoot, ghosts, mummies, and all that. And that kind of piqued my interest about, well, it was like a movie book showing movie characters and all this. But I seen the Bigfoot in there and I'm like, then they called it a legend. But as far as getting into researching, I didn't do that until 3 years ago when I had a sighting that brought it true to life, a full body sighting. And then I said, oh, they must be real. But I had encounters with different things before that, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, say Tim, we are definitely gonna move on to your sightings later. So yeah, that's a very, very interesting way into the cryptid world for a book. Amazing. It tends to be these days that a lot of people that are interested into Bigfoot do read books, which is incredible. It is one way of getting some amazing information. Now, I will say myself, I'm not a massive book fan. I will say, I'm not. I do have a load of books down here. But I'm not a massive book fan. But I am starting to kind of.
But we have a system. Daniel has a system. He finds a book that he thinks might be interesting, gives it to me to read, and then I give him the highlights of the book.
Oh,
That sounds like a good theory.
I can't believe he does that to you. I really find that hard to believe.
Do you? You thought he was so
No.
studious, didn't He did say to me, he did say a few days ago, there's a lot of books stacking up, Nan, you better get reading.
Hi, Nan, do you need new glasses because the books are stacking up? Yeah. Oh, nice. What a lovely grandson.
I wasn't very big on books either when I was in school or now. I just don't interest me in reading.
I can
Sometimes
read
it's
something
hard
I'm
to
really
absorb a lot
interested
of
in, but I've got to be
information, is it? Sorry, Darren.
sorry, Jill. And I was just saying I can read something I'm really interested in, but I'm exactly the same. I can't be bothered. I mean, I find a lot of women actually can sit down and read a book from front to back, whether it's factual or fiction, and enjoy
Yeah.
every minute of it. It's got to be factual and something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
No,
Same.
yeah, I would
Yeah,
agree.
so yeah.
And I think sometimes the factual stuff, it's interesting whilst you're reading it, but sometimes you don't retain all the information.
No,
But it's
Mm.
you don't.
surprising later on when somebody says something, it clicks in your brain. You think, oh, I've read that. I do know something about that. So I
Yeah.
think it soaks in somewhere.
Yeah, so Tim, could you tell everyone a little bit about your research team called the Ohio Bigfoot Researchers that you and your wife set up?
Yeah, we started it in October of 22, and it's almost 4,000 members now in just a little over a year. It's amazing.
Wow. Well
Well
done,
done,
mate.
And but
Well done.
yeah,
Well
we
done.
have rules in place that there's no bullying, and I check each and every post that people put on there to make sure there's truth in it. I just don't allow everybody to post whatever they want.
Lies. No.
And mate, I think that's a very, very important message to everyone out there. Everyone who has and Tim and Darren, you can agree with me on this, is
Yeah.
where you have a Facebook group, you can't just let it run wild. You have to kind of contain it. And I think very, very recently, unfortunately, I've had to kick a lot of my members off. So I've been kicking about 30 members off over the last 2 weeks because they're either fake profiles or they're there to sell and get money from us. And I'm like, this is not what this is about. This is not what this group's about. There are groups out there that are purely there for selling Bigfoot items. I think it's amazing. I just think it needs to be in the right groups, and I think when you've just got have to have that blanket of safety, which is why in my public groups I have a larger admin team than my private group. So then we all can kind of keep an eye on it. But I can say yeah, it's an important message to everyone out there, everyone who has a Facebook group. I will say, be very, very careful on who you get in that group, and as you, Tim, know that you do have to be careful, don't you?
Yeah, especially in the Bigfoot cryptid world, you have a lot of not good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
quite a few
They'll
weird people that
your
attracts as well.
research, they steal your pictures, and they will claim it's all theirs.
Yeah,
Mm.
and they steal
Yeah.
evidence as well. They steal
Yeah.
posts, and it seems to be that the ego kicks in. We were talking about
Yep.
it last night, I think, Daniel. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an adult ego that kicks in that goes, "Oh, I can do this better than them," and whatever. And that's why I started my channel. I'm not going to go into it, but I believe in complete unity amongst us all, Tim, and
Yep.
that's why I'm so glad to be here this evening.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's one very, very important message that you need to kind of take into consideration to everyone out there. So Tim, let's get back into your research team. So do you and your wife go out and do research under the name of your research team?
Yes, we have all kinds of decals and stuff on our vehicle, and if I'm out and somebody walks up and asks me what it is, and I tell them what it is, what the group is, what we do.
Oh, amazing. Well done, you.
And what sort of response do you think you generally get, Tim, from that? If I can just ask, if somebody
So
comes up randomly and you explain you've had an encounter and that's what you're researching. What's the response?
Most people that come up, they're usually, oh yeah, I've seen one, and they'll tell me their encounter, and
Yeah.
then
Wow.
what I need to do is get some cards and stuff made up for when that happens, so I can give them a card. And yeah, I was
Yeah,
at McDonald's up here just close to where we live at about a month and a half ago, just before we moved here. And a guy followed me out of McDonald's because I had this shirt on and my coat on. It's got our logo and all that on it. And he goes, "Do you believe in that stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah, I do too. But I had a sighting back, it was so many years ago, out in Colorado. And we stood there and talked for probably 30 minutes.
Wow.
Wow. And I think that is probably the aim that the world needs to kind of get to, is when you do have a Bigfoot sighting, and I was saying this to Jill the other day, where do you go? Where do you go to kind of report these sightings? And that's what we need to start trying to build, is places where you can ring and go, right, I've had this encounter. Can I report this to you? Which is why I've set my teams here. You've got your teams. I think if more and more people do that, then you'll have people that are really trusted.
Yeah, as long
Well,
as
there's
they realise it's a safe place, as you say, they're able to tell their stories without being ridiculed and
for it. Yeah.
having people to listen to them.
Yeah, you need a safe place.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But here in the United States, we have, well, in Ohio, there is a group. It's called the BRFO, but they're not a good group. If your encounter doesn't fit their criteria, it's not even recognized. If you don't let them on the property where you've had your encounter, they make your life miserable, and they charge people to go out on expeditions looking for them.
Wow. Yeah.
They don't sound too good.
No. I think sometimes you do have to do, and it shouldn't be that way. The world shouldn't be that way, where you have to check before you go into a group to kind of see whether it's safe or not. And I think that's why, especially here in the UK, I'm really pushing, because there are people here in the UK who are not the best, I'll say.
Unscrupulous.
And not the best at groups, and they will ridicule you if it doesn't fit their criteria. And what my job and my aim is to kind of make a safe space for those people and go, right, we're over here, and if you want a safe place to go to talk about your encounter, come to us. And we have had many cases come through, and I think it's really nice to see that people are starting to trust us a bit more. And why say us? I mean all of us. All of us that are there for the truth and there to actually listen to these people's encounters are there to just listen to you, not go, right, I'm going there. Where's the location? I need paid for this. I'm like, that's not what this is about. I'm not in this job to get the money. And Tim, are you in the job to get the money?
Oh no, I'm way in the red. I've spent thousands of dollars doing this.
Yeah.
Money, doesn't it? It doesn't take it in the end.
Yeah, it's a hobby. I mean, it's that simple. And I mean, yeah, it's one of my hobbies, and it's a hobby I haven't been able to get out of for over 40 years, ever since I was a child. And I've been running the group since 2007. And I'm going to get off of the negative part, which is these people that are worldwide egoistics. They see somebody else having a nice car, they have to scratch it. That's the mentality. I want to say on that point, to make it a positive thing, there are a lot more positive people out there than there are negative.
Yes.
The negative
There
only
is,
just show. You always think of that time when the toast lands butter side down, or you hit the red light. You don't think of the time it landed the right way up, or you went through the green light. And there's a lot more green lights than there are red lights. Thank God.
Yeah.
Whoever God is, there's something up there. We are absolutely blessed with the team we've got. I mean, everybody that comes on our podcast, Daniel, aren't like with him. I mean, like tonight, I mean, having Tim on, he's the same sort of like thinking of us.
Yeah.
So we're
Like-minded
lucky again.
people
We're
draw
lucky again.
together, don't they? It's I think you soon suss people out, because I think everyone we've spoken to, it's for the common good, isn't it? We're not
Yeah.
interested in me or
No.
you. It's
No.
everybody. Well, I mean, we are interested in you, but it's everybody. It's coming together, isn't it? It's not. There's no I want to do this. It's how can we, and can you help me, and can I help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's what it's
that's
about.
important. That's important. Yeah. Right, Tim, for something that I've been waiting for a few days now, could you tell us about your sightings with Bigfoot, please?
Okay, I'll start from 2021 because the other ones that, like I said, I had encounters when I was younger. I never got to see a full body, but in 2021 we was at Salt Fork State Park, and we went down. We met. I was become a member of this group called Saws Bay, and we was down there for one of their campouts, which was our first one to ever be at. And we was out just driving around the park looking at areas that were, I heard they've been seen and stuff. And my wife was down looking at the lake. There was like a small beach from the parking area where we was at, and I was standing up by the parking area by the back of the car smoking a cigarette, watching the hill, which was a ridge line. It come down straight in front of me, and I was standing there smoking a cigarette. And I looked up, was watching it, and it was the sun was behind the hill, so everything was skylighted behind it. And I seen something big and black, and I was guessing probably 8 foot to between 8 to 9 foot tall, and almost 4 foot at the shoulders, or a little over 4 foot at the shoulder. Massive. Walked from one large tree through an opening over to the next large tree, which was like 20 foot. And I'm sitting there shaking my head. Oh man, did I see that? I mean, I'm going, no, my eyes got to be playing tricks on me. No, I didn't just see that.
What's in that bag? What's in that bag?
I had to sit there and stand there and argue with myself like, yeah, you just seen what you just seen.
Wow.
Your eyes is not playing tricks on you. And then I realized it. Then I was like, I turned around and I'm like, should I holler for my wife, or should I just walk down there and get her and bring her back up there? And I said, maybe it's still right behind that tree. So I went down and told her, and come back up there, and I showed her where I seen it at and where it walked across at. And she said, well, let's walk on down. There's a dead end road there where they ended it at the lake from the parking area. And she said, well, let's walk down through here and see what we can see. And we started down through there, and there's a guardrail you have to go around. Then it goes back to the blacktop road again. Then there was a 18-foot log laying there, and she stepped over and she said, and I have to walk with a cane. My back's bad and stuff. I can't walk a lot. And she goes, well, hon, don't trip over that log. I'm like, okay, I'm watching. I get over the log, and we're going down through there, and I looking up the hill, watching, see if I could see anything else move up the hill. Then I come to this area that's the bank. There's a embankment right beside of where the old road used to run that goes up the hill, and there's areas look like I call them slides, but it's an area where an animals come off the hill, a pathway. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, well, these must be deer trails. Because I hunted most of my life. I was in the woods more than I was out of the woods most of the time. And we're walking, I seen the one, then we walked down another 20, 30 yards, and here's another one. And I'm standing there looking at this, seeing what kind of tracks is in the pathway. She walks on down about another 30 to 40 feet to 50 feet from me. And she's standing there looking up the hill, and I'm still looking at this thing, seeing what kind of tracks in it, if it's been deer doing it or what animal's been coming off the hill there. And she says, "Hey, babe." I go, "What?" She goes, "I see one." And I'm all like, "See what?" She said, "I see another Bigfoot." And she's standing there. I'm like, "Where is your phone?" And she goes, "It's in my back pocket." I said, "Get it out and start taking pictures while I come towards you." So she gets her phone out, turns it on, gets the camera up, starts taking pictures as I slowly make my way to her. I didn't want to move real fast. I get down there to where she's at, and she goes, "It's up there by that white tree," which is a beech tree. And these are big trees. I mean, they're 30, 40 inches around in diameter. And I'm looking. She said, "You see that black thing right there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I see it." She said, "That's a little one." And she'd already had 2 or 3 pictures of it. And it was only about a 3-foot tall one. And it was solid black. And you could see it had its one arm around the side
Was
of
it
the
that
tree.
one?
No, I didn't send you a picture of that
Oh,
because that one there in there, that picture you showed that it's walking was just less than 3 weeks ago, just up the road from where we
I'm
live.
sorry. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We've seen probably close to 20 in the last 3 years.
20?
Yep.
Oh my
Wow.
God, Tim. Wow, that's
And
amazing, mate.
if you go on the group, I have all kinds of pictures of them, but I have more pictures on my tablet. I have printed out picture copies, hard copies of the first 3 years we took pictures. I have many, many,
Wow.
many pictures.
Wow. If you
Daniel's just looking at airline tickets now to come over to you, Tim.
Hey,
wow.
hey, you're welcome, buddy, to come over anytime. I've took 3 or 4 different, 5 different people out already, and they have got pictures of them too.
Wow.
Oh, wow, mate. That is amazing. And that is just completely
oh my gosh, yeah.
incredible.
I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were
I
going to
don't know
say
what to say.
you vaguely saw one. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
that's probably.
So, what sort of distance would you say they are away from you then, Tim? I mean, do they seem to keep a distance in between you and them, or do you keep a distance? And what would it be?
Well, most of the time that, like in the daylight, they usually try to stay 40 to 50 to 60 yards away.
Okay. Yeah.
But at night, I've had them as close as 20 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
And I mean, when they're that close, do you get a feel of any difference? I mean, do you get a feel of an aura off of them, or?
Oh, I feel when they're around me anytime.
Oh wow.
That's just to confirm. I think that because I think they're a very spiritual being. I don't think they're dangerous like we led to believe that. I think they're more scared of us than we are of them, and
they can get aggressive now. My wife's been hit with rocks.
Ooh.
She's been hit with rocks. Wow. Is she okay?
Yeah, she had a big bruise on her leg from a rock it's back just in October.
Wow.
No, I'm wrong. It wasn't October. It was June of this year, 23. Because we went to Salt Fork, and one of the people that she went out with on looking for them on the trails and stuff, they found this structure and they never asked permission to go in it, and they got aggressive. The guy that was with her, before he ever left Salt Fork, he got attacked. He got knocked clean across the trail and tore his rotor rotator cuff in his arm.
Oh.
3 days later, we was in our research area where we used to live, and they was throwing rocks. They throwed a total of 6 rocks, and the last one hit her on the leg and left about a dollar size silver dollar, if you know what U.S. currency looks like, silver dollar, left a silver dollar bruise on her leg.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So when you say they didn't ask permission, so what would that entail? I mean, is that something you would do if you encountered that? How would you ask if it's okay or know if it's
I talked
okay
to him.
go? Sorry.
Yeah, I talked to when I'm out looking for them. I'm speaking out to them, and I ask for permission to get a picture of them, or I ask them to come out and show themselves to me, and it usually happens.
Wow.
That is just that's fabulous, isn't it? What an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that really is.
People think they're, but they're not. They have intelligence as we do, and you respect them as a person or a being, and you communicate and ask them for permission. You have to respect their home just as
respect.
Come in your home.
Respect. But do you ever think you get an intelligent response back from them via a telekinetic way, or by words, or a growl, or what, Tim? I mean,
I've had them mind speak to me. We've had them growl at us. My wife's heard them do what they call the samurai chatter. She's heard that 2 or 3 different times.
So it's an animal language that they're actually vocally communicating with you via.
Yeah. I had one wave at me when I waved at it.
Oh.
So they may be imitating us as well then. I mean, obviously, because but what was I just thinking of then? So basically, you would expect, and I would expect it to have a higher level experience than what animal I'm going to say now. But would you say it would interact with you like a dog would, but of a higher intelligence level?
Well, yeah, they have more higher. They're just as intelligent as a human being.
Yeah, but
they can hide from.
I mean, like a dog will sort of growl, or it'll bark, or it'll whine. You know, they chatter their teeth and so forth. Would knocks. Would you say that's how they interact with you? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just so I can get it in my mind.
I've heard them. I've heard them do tongue pops when when we was standing there looking at the little one the first time down there after the time I was telling you about when she was taking a picture of the little one. Well, I heard like a mouth pop, and the little one went around the tree and out of sight.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
But
that is an amazing story.
And something else I need to ask before I forget, because I do forget things. Do you think they are able to cloak themselves or just vanish instantly?
I've seen many pictures from other researchers where there is like you ever seen the movie Predator?
Yes.
Where
I haven't, but
well, it's like cellophane, how light hits cellophane if you have it outside, that has that shimmering light on it. Well, I've seen people that I know real well that has pictures of that and them materializing out of stuff like that. But I've heard vocals. I've heard like wood knocks. We've had them stomp their feet at us. We had one on another trip to Salt Fork. It was at night. We was on an investigation up to the handicap, and there was supposed to have been more people showed up. We all left the group camp to go up there to do an investigation. And we was the only two that showed up to there, and it was supposed to have been like 6 or 7 of us. And we was sitting there, and we had a big 12-foot one, had to be a male because as big as he was. We had it, then 20, 25 foot of us, and it growled at us because somebody just cooked out on one of the grills there we was sitting by because the charcoal was still hot. And it was smelling what they cooked. And we sat there for at least, well, this was like at 10 o'clock at night, at least 10 minutes. It first started out, it was probably 50 feet from us. And within 10 minutes, it done made it down to like 20, 25 feet to us. Then it got to where it figured, well, I've had enough of you and Jins need to leave. And then it started growling at us.
Wow.
Wow. And those stories, Tim, are amazing. One question I will ask is, did you record any of these sounds?
No, at the time we didn't have no equipment or nothing. We just had our phones. We finally got a recorder. We finally got cameras, and then we got night vision camera now, and now we're set up to go.
Wow.
Well done, you.
Yeah.
So,
Incredible.
I'm going to ask you 2 more questions, and this interview, honestly, the time has flown by. Honestly, it really has. So, my second to last question for you, Tim, is: do you think these creatures are flesh and blood creatures, or do you think they are paranormal or supernatural ones?
Now, that's a good question, Daniel. My answer is they're both. They can be flesh and blood at part sometimes, and they can be spiritual and supernatural at other times.
Yep, I believe that as well. I believe that.
Yeah.
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 So
They're a higher level than what we are. There's something
Yeah.
about them spiritually. I think it's because the human being has come so materialistic that they've detached themselves from their spirituality. And they haven't become materialistic. They're still living in the same tree structures, nests, grounds that they've always have done. Therefore, they're just as spiritual as they were then, now.
We've been dumbed down. We've been dumbed down over the generations. The government and the powers that are in control, the ones that made it, you might as well say we're just slaves to them. All we're doing is just a money maker.
Yes.
They've dumbed us down.
The human being is a very intelligent thing, and we are capable of so much more than what we are allowed to know we can do. I mean, if we even go back to World War II, the RAF was using remote readers. They never publicised it as much. The men that stare at goats, things like that. It was all real. Remote readers were 95% accurate at researching where airfields were for the RAF to bomb. That's how they knew where to bomb airfields, just through psychics. That's how powerful spiritual it is. And since 2020, which is coincidental when you started, Tim, your group, in 2019, 2020, there's been a real big spiritual awakening around the world. And I'm finding a lot of us are coming together now. And we're teaching each other. And we're waking up to this. We're waking up.
A lot of lost knowledge was hidden.
I believe the more awake you are, the more likely you're to see Bigfoot or Swashback or Yeti, whatever you want to call him or her. And I believe you're going to sense him or her a lot more.
There's so many names for Bigfoot now.
Yeah.
Well, there always has been, because it's around the world. If you look at native Indians, you go out to the Alaskans, it's everywhere. The only thing that changes is its coat, like we do, to the climate it's living in. So it is real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yep.
Out there.
Wow. Amazing, Tim. So my last question for you this evening for us, and I think it's afternoon for you. And my last question for you is, what is the most important advice you would give someone who is going to have a Bigfoot encounter?
Remain calm, and if it gets aggressive, back out slowly and leave the area.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't
Yeah,
never go
that's
into the woods alone,
top one.
and always know your surroundings and your area. What if you're there, always be paying attention, listening, and watching with all your intentions.
wow, Tim.
Good
Very, very
advice.
wise
Yeah.
advice there.
Yeah.
So, Jill,
Amazing.
do you have a last questions for Tim?
Oh wow, no, I don't have questions. I'm just totally in awe of those stories. That's just fabulous. And I love that it's a positive encounter. Not a scary one, not you just had to run screaming from the area, and that you've repeatedly seen them. I mean, you are extremely obviously open to them. I do. I like Darren says. I do believe they know they will show themselves. I think from what we've been hearing from everyone, they'll let you see them. So I think you're obviously a very open, kind-hearted man for that to happen.
Yeah, I try to help everyone, and I don't try to be cruel to nobody unless they push it to past my point.
Yeah.
That's me, mate, all over.
And
Me, mate,
Darren,
all over.
do you have any last comments or questions you want to ask Tim?
I've got another 3 hours worth of questions, which is far too long, so it's not worth me starting them tonight. I would have one, maybe in a few weeks' time or whatever, Tim. It'd be great to sort of speak to you again if you're up for that.
Well,
Oh,
well, I will
anytime.
say,
Yeah,
It would
maybe
be
Because
lovely.
I have a
because I find I've got this. I mean, I say paranormal covers everything. That's me, and it always has done. But people think it's just ghosts and spirits. It's not. It's everything. And I'm also. I had a really good karate tutor. I won't go right into it now. When I was 17, he sat down and gave a philosophical talk about the Shaolin monks, how they relinquish everything, they become very spiritual, and the reason they can fight so well is because they are spiritual and they know what you're thinking through that psychic link. And I think Bigfoot's exactly the same. I think we are, as you say, you're dumbed down. You're obviously awake. You've woken up to this fact. And I think the more awake you are, the more spiritual you are. I think the more likely you are to see these great creatures. Uh, I think they're aware that what man's done around the world is not correct, and most people are materialistic and egoistic, and they just want a picture of them to sell to the papers.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they
very
know your intentions. If you're going to think you're going to take pictures of them and go out here and make big money off it, and you're not going to get a picture. If you're selfish and jealous, you're not going to get a picture. You're not going to see one.
There you
yeah.
go. There you go.
Wow,
And
amazing.
that could be what happened to us in the woods that time I came up, when we were drawn to that point and you were away, and something disturbed them damn dogs down on the farm, and everything did go quiet. Something disturbed. There was a knock, and then the dogs all started barking. It went dead quiet. I heard something. It wasn't a pheasant, and we also had a time slip, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to admit, yes, that was weird. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, before we go, if I give you a little bit of info on what these guys are talking about, we went on an investigation probably about 4 weeks ago now, and me, Jill, and Darren's partner, we went into a dark part of the woods where
I suffer
found
from
primate
severed nerves
DNA.
in my spine. I can't walk very well. I can't feel my right foot. So the area they're drawn to, everybody's drawn to, I found it hard and difficult to get into. I said, I'll only slow you down. So I got left behind. Yeah.
And we went in, and we found a pit of bones. It was about 40 different bones, and when we came out, we had been gone an hour, and I thought we'd only been gone a half hour.
I think we
So
all thought it was just
yeah,
20 minutes, half an hour. That was quite strange. Yeah.
yeah.
So you had a loss of time.
Mm.
Yeah.
I had no idea until Darren had said, you've been, I thought you were never coming back. He's like, well, we haven't been that long. He said, you've been gone almost an hour.
You have.
You Jensen was lucky you even come back out then, and within that short of a period.
Don't say that.
There's things out there in the woods and in the world that men have forgot about, and you can walk into one and it could be you never be seen again, or it might be hours or days before you come back out somewhere else.
We'll send Darren in there next time.
Oh, cheers, Bill.
But guys, I want to say thank you so much, Tim. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it hasn't been enough time. So
Yeah.
I really need to get you back on at some point. But thank you so much for spending time with us this evening.
Thank you for asking me to come on your show. It's great.
You're very welcome, mate.
Really,
so
thank you.
to everyone out there, we've had another great interview. And if you have any questions or any comments for Tim, you can find him on Facebook in his Facebook group. And I'll tag that in the comments. If you have any questions at all, you're more than welcome to go through us, and we will get you to Tim. But thank you so much to Darren Graham as well for helping us co-host this evening. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Darren.
We do. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you all. This has been a great show, and I enjoyed it.
Amazing. So to everyone out there, keep searching, stay mythical, and we shall see you very, very soon for another Mythical Legends podcast. Thank you.